Good afternoon, it's that bloke on a motorbike. Just coming into Cawood in Yorkshire, and we're just about to go over this bridge which crosses the River Ouse. So this bridge here now, swing bridge, so that they can let the shipping through the River Ouse. And what's sort of fascinating about the River Ouse is that virtually all the rivers, or quite a lot of them I should say, flow into the River Ouse. So quite a lot of the major rivers will flow into there. So what we're going to do is I'm starting a intermittent series really of rides where we trace the rivers. Now today I'm going to go up and we're going to trace the River Wharfe, so we're going up to Wharfedale. And all this landscape that we've got, the open plains like floodplains, and then up into the high dales, all being shaped by these rivers. So I thought I really would like to try and follow the courses of them. So a planned route that follows as near as possible to the course of the river. Now just over in the fields on his right hand side, just over those fields, the River Wharfe goes into the Ouse, just about where that tree line is over there. You get the two rivers merging there. So it's impossible to get across that on the bike, but we're going to see quite a bit of it. It's absolutely glorious weather. We're just coming into the end of, or beginning of September, mid-September sort of thing, and we seem to have got a window of absolutely fantastic weather. Okay, so we've got the river just on the right hand side. It's over that banking at the moment. So we're just entering the village now of Ryther, and we'll get the first glimpse really of the river as we're going through here. Okay, so if I just pull up here for a second, we'll actually get a look at the river. So I can see just over that wall we've got the river there. And if I hop off, so there we can see we've got the River Wharfe. That flowing down. Fair old rate of flow on it really. Right, let's see where it goes next. So these are some of my favourite roads. We can't get any closer at the moment to the river, but we're heading now for Tadcaster, which is one of the big towns that's built by the banks of it at a crossing point. So we're coming into Tadcaster now, which is quite famous. It's got the John Smith's brewery just on his right hand side there. I'm going to ignore what Calimoto's saying just for now. It's quite a mixture of old and new, is Tadcaster. Got some quite old properties and then obviously new ones. And if we go down here, that's the old brewery works. Just ignore Callie in the background there. There were a road that were closed and she's trying to get me back to it. So this is the bridge, and we're just going over the river. A few years ago there was a lot of terrible flooding and the bridge got damaged. So if we just turn into here, we might get a glimpse. Just turn it round. Oh, this is the parking. Yep, so there's the river just over there. Like I say, the floods that they had a few years ago that demolished the bridge or made it very unsafe, and this road was closed for months on end. The impact on local traffic was terrible. They had huge diversions on the A64, which now bypasses here. It can't have been right good for local trade either. You see, as we go through, we've got these quite nice old buildings. Some of them could do with revamping. Local carpet shop, you don't see many of those. Now, if we continue straight ahead here, the road goes round to right. If we went straight ahead and then took, I think it's the second left, we'd be at Eddie's motorbike shop with all the Royal Enfields and the BSAs. And he also has a stock of very nice sort of vintage type bikes, classics. You can see with the wider fields, flatter land down here, we've got a lot of arable farming, whereas when we get further up into Wharfedale, we'll see that it changes from arable to sheep and grass, cattle, that sort of thing. So we moved on now and we're in Boston Spa. So we're going to cross another bridge here going over the River Wharfe. So then we've got the river over there and also over there. The fella down there is fly fishing. This is another road that I've never been on, didn't know it existed. That wall on the left hand side looks very much like you would get on a country estate type. These little lanes are lovely. Right, so this now is Wetherby, and when it floods, when the river goes up and floods, then it floods the whole of this. The whole of this car park. I've known it where you've had quite significant flooding. So there we can just get a glimpse of the bridge and the river coming down there. Because it's still in leaf, it's very difficult to get a look at it. But when this river floods, this car park is definitely underwater. So let's go a bit further. Nice little market town as this. Still got a lot of independent shops. Really nice trading area there. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And there's a chip shop here called the Wetherby Whaler, and that is something else. So this quaint little village, I think, is called Linton. If you took away the roads, the tarmac and the white lines and the yellow lines, you could be at any period in time. It probably last 200 or 300 years. It's got a speed limit on it of 20 miles an hour through the village. So I guess that this could be going over the river again. Let me just have a quick look. It is. So we're crossing back over the river. Let's see if I can risk life and limb and show you. So there's the river. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that reflection. Wow, that is gorgeous. And then on the other side, how idyllic is that? Even got the hay bales in field all stacked. So we're now in the village of Cawood. We've got Cawood Ouse, which is straight across at these traffic lights. We're going to go right though. It is quite a nice stately home. Got some really nice gardens as well. They've got a lot of estate cottages. More modern buildings there on the left. And now this drops down, and we have a lovely view over those fields there. So the valley there is being caused by a bit of glacial erosion, but also by the river, which is at the bottom of this hill. You see what the traffic situation is like coming up here. It's an absolute nightmare if you're coming from out from Harrogate. If you're coming out of Harrogate, it's terrible. So we're going to be crossing over the river again. So the bridge here that crosses the river, as it says there, it's quite narrow, and it's got a history of things hitting it. Not long ago this was completely shut down as well, which is terrible if you're trying to get anywhere. So I've just crossed over the Wharfe and into North Yorkshire. So we're going to be turning off this major road onto some of my favourite ones, the little tiny twisties. When I was planning this route, I tried to get the roads, as I said, as close as I possibly could to the rivers, but also trying to find places that I hadn't ridden before. I think you tend to have a set idea in your head of you trying to get from one place to another, and you seem to use the same roads all the time. So I deliberately tried to avoid that if I could, and find some different bits of tarmac to explore. This is very quaint, isn't it? Sun straight in my eyes. Like a never-ending right bend is this. I can't get a view to get past. Beautiful views coming in again. You can smell the earth. It's absolutely wonderful. So Wheaton, new village to me. This looks very nice. So we're just coming into Poole in Wharfedale now. And we're going to be crossing over the river yet again. Just going to go over it now. And we're turning right and heading towards Ilkley. So we're in Ilkley now, and we've got the river just on my right hand side there, and if I can pull in here we'll get a lovely view of it. That's lovely. I can remember it when I was a kid. You used to have boats on there, could hire rowing boats. Don't know if they still do it. That's lovely. As per usual though, this is really bad flood area. So, I mean, basically we're on the floodplain. I did want to ride up this road in front of us, but they've got it closed down, so we don't get a chance to see the little bridge, or the big bridge. Now we're going over the river one more time here, and this is a really narrow little bridge, which there's the river. People tend to not like it when you come across there on a bike and stop them coming across in the car. So we're now going to be following the river quite closely on the it's on the left hand side, just over those trees, and then we'll come into the bottom side of Ilkley.